Today, I woke up to some incredible news. MLB The Show made a tweet saying, important announcement regarding MLB The Show. And if you click on the link in the tweet, it'll take you to a blog post titled Looking Towards the Future of MLB The Show. It says Major League Baseball's exciting 2024 season has wrapped, and with MLB The Show 24 Season 4 content arriving tomorrow, we at SDS wanted to take a moment to share a sneak peek at the future of this franchise. Beginning tomorrow, all fans can enjoy every card in MLB The Show 24 as we move into Season 4 with the release of the finest cards. Yes, this also means cards in your inventory from previous seasons in MLB 24 can be enjoyed again. Now, we already knew about that. We knew that the inventory was opening up in Season 4. What we didn't see coming is this next paragraph. MLB The Show 25 Diamond Dynasty. We appreciate the feedback from our community and have also decided that sets and seasons will not be returning in MLB The Show 25, allowing every card to be used freely throughout the year. We did it, coach. We did it. They're gone. You guys know I hate sets and seasons. I've been done with this content model for a very long time, so I am very excited to see that sets and seasons will not be returning for 25. If we keep reading a little bit though, it says, while we look forward to sharing more about our live content plans for MLB 25 at a later date, our Season 4 approach gives you a sense of the direction in MLB 25. So now I'm really intrigued for tomorrow's content drop. We are also excited to share that you, our fans, will be able to earn rewards in MLB 24 to jumpstart your MLB 25 experience. Beginning tomorrow, you can start earning now and later MLB The Show packs in playable content all throughout Diamond Dynasty. Each now and later MLB The Show pack earned in MLB 24 will grant an MLB The Show pack in MLB 25. So that's kind of cool. It's like a little bit of carryover into the next game. Now, this announcement came at like the most perfect timing because I was planning on making a video today titled Goodbye Sets and Seasons, because with Season 4 dropping tomorrow, I was going to be hopeful that today would be the final day we would ever have to worry about season restrictions in MLB The Show. With the inventory opening up tomorrow and me hoping that there's no sets and seasons in 25, this would be it. This today, November 21st, would hopefully be the last day we would ever have to think about season restrictions. And then they dropped this. I mean, it couldn't have been more perfect timing. So I'm going to jump into a game. I'm going to continue talking about my thoughts on all of this stuff. And I'm using a full squad of Season 3 players. As I look for this game, just a reminder that if you're going to any concerts or sporting events, you can use code Cougs on SeatGeek to save $20 on your tickets. And don't forget to check out Underdog Fantasy for everything daily fantasy sports. The pick'em entries are my favorite way to play. All you're doing is picking higher or lower based off Underdog's projections for that player. And I will definitely be making some pick'em entries for Thursday Night Football. So if you guys want to try out Underdog for yourself, use code Cougs when you sign up because they'll give you some promo cash to play with, as well as a free pick for your first pick'em entry. All right, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit into this game here in the bottom of the third. I started talking for the first 2 innings, and I just kind of went on a long train of thought that started to just kind of like unravel. But yeah, man, sets and seasons are gone. This has been a very interesting era for MLB The Show. Like, these last 2 years have been just so different than what like made MLB The Show great in the previous years. And if we take it back to MLB The Show 22, I know I just did a whole video on MLB 22, but as I said in that video, a lot of the community sentiment regarding that year's game was that it was just a little too stale. It was a little too safe. It didn't feel like that game really elevated or pushed content forward in any true meaningful ways. So because of that, when MLB The Show announced that they were doing this new sets and seasons model in MLB 23, I was ready to give SDS the benefit of the doubt. I was ready to have an open mind because, hey, it's something new. It's something different. And I was willing to give it a fair shot. And I did do that in MLB 23. I think I gave sets and seasons a very fair chance. I didn't give my, kind of definitive opinion on sets and seasons until the end of Season 3, the start of Season 4, because I didn't think it would be fair for me to like give a final opinion on it after only like 1 season or so. I kind of wanted to see how SDS would react to the feedback, how they would change things in the game. But by the end of Season 3 and the start of Season 4, I was, kind of soured on the content model. I didn't like the way they did it. They had the 99 overall cards available from day one, and that was kind of fun at first because it was something different. Like, it was something unique to play with cards that good that early on in the year, aside from just like the 2 or 3 collection rewards that we would normally get. But after season 1, it kind of became clear that it's like, oh, we can still use our cards from the previous season when the new one comes out, and now I just have to grind for a lot of the same players just to make sure I can actually field a team in the next season. And a lot of the times you were just taking one 99 overall card and replacing them with another. It just wasn't a good system. The element of team building really just was not great in MLB 23. So with MLB 24, they tried to kind of meet halfway. They said, hey, we know you guys like the power creep and you'd like to see that return, but we're not ready to give up on this sets and seasons model. So how about we try the best of both worlds, where we do a power creep in each season, and then when the new season comes out, everything basically resets, and now you have to grind for your team again. Which, coming off MLB 23, on paper, that actually didn't sound like the worst idea in the world to me. But then, obviously, we got our hands on the game, and the problem for me with MLB 24's seasons is that when the new season started and you had to basically do the grind over and get all your new cards, there wasn't really a true incentive for it. It was just SDS saying, hey, it's reset time, start over because we said so. It was a reset for the sake of being a reset rather than it's a reset, go grind out this new stuff because this is going to change the way your gameplay experience works. And when you tell people to grind for a lot of the same players that they've already earned a few weeks ago, just because now the new card is eligible and the old ones aren't, like, that's just not going to fly for a lot of people. Not to mention in season 1, there was such a heavy emphasis on the pack content as opposed to the programs. I'm sure you guys remember that. A lot of people were just really soured on this content model really fast, and I just don't think the interest was there for a lot of people. This guy definitely just rage quit, by the way. You know what? Actually, I just realized I haven't done a single game of the Moonshot event. I'm gonna play one of these instead of another game of ranked. Anyway, going back to what I was saying before my opponent rage quit, just overall, it didn't really seem like with even a happy medium that SDS was trying to do, it just wasn't really going to work. Because another thing is, I don't feel like the sets and seasons model benefits really any type of player. It doesn't benefit the casual players, because if somebody has a very limited amount of time to play and they end up spending that time grinding for a few players to add to their God squad, and then in 4 weeks you say, oh, you actually can't use those cards anymore because we reset everything just because we wanted to. Like, that doesn't really make sense for the casual player to put time into the game to get those cards, right? It also doesn't benefit the hardcore players of MLB The Show, because players like me and a lot of the other people that put a lot of hours into this game, we like to do everything, right? We like to complete all the team affinities to get all the cards. We like to complete all the programs. Everything just becomes repetitive because we're grinding for the same pool of players without much innovation. That's why I actually really liked the out of position stuff this year, because even though it was all the same players that we'd seen before, it was a new way to use them. Like, you had Mike Trout and Anthony Rizzo pitching with Nolan Ryan playing center field. It's a little quirky. It's definitely a little gimmicky, but at the end of the day, you know what? Who cares? It's a fun way to just kind of spice up the game a little bit. I did like that content drop. But other than that, it's just a lot of the same stuff. Like, I'm not that hyped for Finest because we've seen good versions of a lot of the cards that we'll be getting for Finest already. So yeah, I just don't think sets and seasons really works for anybody. And like I said earlier, I've really tried to give it a fair chance. Maybe it seems like I haven't sometimes because I get frustrated with it, but I really have tried to have an open mind with this whole thing. But now with multiple iterations of it, I still just can't really see a world where this works. The other thing I wanted to say is I know that sets aren't absolutely universally hated, right? There are some people out there that do like the sets and seasons model. There's been plenty of people in comments, mentions, whatever. Whenever I bring up my issues with seasons, there's people that are like, oh, I actually like seasons. I think it's cool because so-and-so, X, Y, and Z. And that's fine, man. If you like seasons, whatever. You're allowed to like and prefer whatever you want. But I do think that it is pretty evident that the seasons model has actively pushed people away from the game rather than keep people engaged. I think you can see that with the player count, with interest across the board, whether it be, you know, something like Twitch viewership, whether it be something of like just overall player count, just general interest in the game has been way lower in the past 2 years, I think. Like if you look at a lot of comments on social media and everything, you'll see so many people saying, please remove sets and seasons. Like, obviously, a lot of people don't like it as well. However, one thing I do want to bring up is that just because they are removing sets and seasons for 25 doesn't automatically mean that MLB 25 is going to be great. It is still going to have its issues. Every MLB The Show has its own sets of problems. And there are plenty of ways SDS can screw up. But my hope is that MLB 25 can be like what MLB 19 was to MLB 18. For those of you that don't remember, MLB 18 had Immortals. It's widely considered the worst year of MLB The Show. The Immortal grind was terrible. They were the only 99s in the game. There were like 20 99s in the game, and the only way to unlock them is to put a mind-numbing amount of play versus CPU hours into the game, just grinding. And not even fun grinding either. You're just tallying up statistical missions all day and all night just to unlock one Immortal card. And then MLB 19 came out and said, okay, we know you guys don't really like this grind. We're going to try this new thing with inning programs and team affinity and an XP reward path. Things that are an absolute staple of MLB The Show nowadays. They saw our feedback, they saw what we did and didn't like, and they went with it and created arguably the most influential MLB The Show game in terms of content and content structure. That's kind of what I'm hoping MLB 25 is to MLB 24 and 23, just a response to the negative criticism that they've received over the past couple years. They come out and just be like, hey, we saw you guys didn't like this. We're removing sets and seasons. These are the other things we're adding to keep content fresh. That's what I'm hoping for MLB 25. I'm hoping for new ways to play, like new game modes. I'm hoping for possibly current gen consoles only, although I kind of think that's a long shot. I'm hoping for a higher emphasis on programs to start the year instead of packs. I just really want MLB 25 to be a game that we can all thoroughly enjoy. But I've been yapping this entire video. I would like to know what you guys think about the news today. Are you excited about sets and seasons not coming back? Are you disappointed about it? Does this make you more or less intrigued with the next MLB The Show game? Like, how are you feeling about all of this? I would love to know in the comments. Other than that, though, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's content drop just to see what they mean by Season 4 is going to give us an idea of what to expect in MLB 25. You can expect videos probably throughout the weekend. And I'll go ahead and finish up this moonshot game and catch you guys in the next one.